Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The Round Table. My name is Dante Cooper. I'm going to be your host moderator this evening. Let me introduce my guest panelists. To my far left,
I'm Randy Brown.
Linda White.
And Michael Barclay.
We have an exciting show for you today. We're going to start with a topic that I think everyone can relate to, especially in this country. Today we're going to talk about celebrity worship. Let me ask my guest panelists, what is it about our particular country? I know some other ones participate in, but this country in general that really worships celebrities?
Well, I have to say, when I first heard the term celebrity worship, first of all, I don't think there's anything I'll ever get. I just don't get it. However, when I actually took a look at what celebrity worship entails, it's an actual thing. It's a syndrome. It's real. And as you mentioned, it's very prevalent in the United States. As far as why, I think naturally we gravitate toward people that we believe are successful. We gravitate toward people that we're attracted to in some way, or that are doing something that we enjoy or aspire to do ourselves. So, of course, we're going to look to celebrities because they excite us, they stimulate us in some way. But that's normal, but taking it to the level of worship is a whole different thing. It's a whole other thing. And there's some psychological issues at work there that create that level of excitement, or that level of obsession, if you will, to take it to the worship standpoint.
Sure.
They're focused more on these celebrities branding their name, and when they brand their name, they become a household item. People look up to them, people idolize them. So it's easy for especially young children, when they hear this name over and over again and they see them over and over again, it's easy for them to be branded into their head. So now they're someone that they look up to, so they promote the branding of a celebrity, and that, of course, brand name, clothing, just things that you hear over and over again, they psychologically do that to brand it into your brain, mentally. So that's how I think these people become idolized, because they're consistently being put in the forefront for people to look up to.
I got so much to say about this topic. First of all, you deal with the term celebrity, and then you deal with the term worship. Now, first, I'm going to take the term worship. According to what I've read in the historical record book, primitive man was looking for something greater than himself. And that's why when you go back as far as you can go, they worshiped the sun. There was the sun god. And then, there were other things, the god of the sea and the god of lightning and stuff like that. To a smaller scale, if you look at something that's a beautiful piece of God's quote unquote creation, like a beautiful mountaintop or a beautiful sunset or a beautiful starry sky, or even a beautiful voice of a beautiful woman that's singing on stage, I think it is a reflection of the Creator's glory. And so there is some healthiness to admire and acknowledge the beauty that we see in others of God's creation. But there is also some unhealthiness when you're searching for something outside of yourself that's technically within yourself. Before the printing press, and before, newspapers, and before the telegram, and before, of course, radio, television, and internet, there was less of a level of this celebrity worship. The people who had the most fame and fortune were either the gangster killers and dictators who took power, or, political activists and leaders. In this day and age where we have the trend of being famous just for being famous, is just the latest level of descendants from what was traditionally a pretty healthy human instinct into what we see today on TMZ and YouTube.
Well, very quickly, and we break down celebrity, and the root word being celebrate, and as you alluded to, these people were to be celebrated. They represented the strength in all of us, and it was something to aspire to. And you bring up a good point. And the information age where everyone has access to a camera, we're walking around with them on our cell phones. Anyone now can be a celebrity. And all it takes is 1 million views for someone to quote unquote become popular, viral. Is there something we can do to help curtail this inflammation of celebrityhood right now?
Well, I think it's too late now. I mean, I don't know how we could curtail that, but I do think it is interesting when we break it out and talk about celebrity and then the word worship. What is celebrity, I guess, is what comes to mind when you're thinking, and you mentioned the root word to celebrate. One thing that just sticks in my craw, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, is reality TV. And as you mentioned, we all have cameras these days. They're on our cell phones. Everything is videotaped. You can't be in the car having road rage and yelling at someone without it being on camera. And I think that is fueling that unhealthy excitement and that unhealthy worship of celebrities. And it's also, I think, minimizing the meaning of the word or the importance of what celebrity truly is. At this point, anyone can be a celebrity, but it's a reality. It is our world right now.
When we come back, Reality versus Reality TV continues.